Hello, it is I, your boy Gomi, and we are back. We have made it here to the good stuff. We went through a lot of mid-fight cards, 2 pay-per-views, one being decent, the other being not that great, to be honest with you. But we've gotten to this, which is the best event that we have so far, honestly. I think this is $299 is actually better than 300, mainly due to stakes. 300 is probably more of a fun card, but this is more of a high level, high stakes card, to be perfectly honest with you. Like, this matters. There's a lot of fights that are gonna happen on 300 that, like, it happens, you're like, oh cool, it was cool, all right, but what came of it? Regardless, this is gonna be a very, very fun card. I really like this card. It's in good old Miami. I went there last year and that was an amazing card, so I hope that this is also an amazing card as well too. Funny enough, Miami had my favorite fighter of all time. Now it has my second favorite fighter fighting of all time. And in both cases, they are underdogs by the people. So we'll see. So let's get into this card. First fight we're going to have is a garbage fight, which is Joanne Wood versus Marina Morose. Yeah, I know I said stakes. And then we have this fight where there is 0 stakes. In case you didn't know, Joanne Wood has stated that this is going to be her retirement fight. She has had a long career in the UFC, not the most eventful, sitting at a whopping 10 decisions and 6 finishes, but regardless, a career nonetheless at the highest of level. But she hasn't been looking really good. She has a win over Luana Carolina recently. That means absolutely fucking nothing. And then she is on a 3-fight loss streak to 2 really good fighters and a one who's a bit better than average in Lauren Murphy. Marina Morose, on the other hand, is a decent fighter, but also on a losing streak, having lost to people like Angela Hill, Carlos Esparza. That's not bad, we lost, but like not very good. A win over Mayra Bueno Silva doesn't really mean anything. This is a very low level fight, to be perfectly honest with you. Joanne Wood, she seems like she doesn't care as much anymore because, again, this is a retirement fight, and Marina Morose really doesn't seem like she cares that much. But the only thing I can really shed some light into as well, too, is this is a rematch. Yes, this is a rematch that happened back in 2015. Almost a decade later, and they're rematching for... Why are they rematching again? I don't know. Actually, it was Morose's UFC debut, so I guess I don't know. It's not a good fight. I just feel that this is really going to lean towards a decision. I don't like picking either person for this fight. I think you're gonna have a bad time doing that because one also has an OnlyFans, so they kind of don't care. That's Morose. Regardless, I'm just gonna do yourself the favor and just say take the fight goes over. Takes the fight goes the distance, parlay that because the odds are probably not going to be the best. Who's going to win? I'm going to go Marina Morose. CJ Vagar versus Asus Almeida. Okay, regardless, this is a pretty solid fight. CJ Vagar is a very fun fighter. I know a lot of people have that Daniel Lacerda fight where he ran around the octagon and engraved into their brains, but he is a very good fighter. It's just that Asus is pretty high up there. He is pretty solid. He is a pretty on the cusp of being an elite fighter. He just needs a few more fights, but I think he's gonna look really good. He got his first second round submission against Ode Osborne. Beyond that, he was riding a massive win streak. His last loss back in 2017. He also lost to Tagir. He fought Tagir before both of them went to UFC, which is interesting. He lost that fight, but he is a very solid fighter. He's got really slick grappling. His striking is improving with each fight. Them Kazakhstan boys, they know how to strike as well too. Look at Shavkat Rakhmonov. CJ Vagar, while he is tough, he is durable. He is a guy who doesn't quit. Look at the Daniel Lacerda fight. He also, I just don't think is on the same level as Asu. I think Asu is going to honestly run through him, to be perfectly honest with you. I'm going to be going Asu by submission. I think that is going to be my pick. And I think it's going to be a good fight, though. I think it's going to be a very, very exciting fight. And yeah. Oh, God. Oh, God. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, this fight's horrible. It's horrible, but it can be good. But it can also be horrible. But it can also be, why would you... Like, I feel I feel the people who spend money on this fight, gambling on it, are going to be sitting at the end of the night going either, yep, that went how it was supposed to, or they'll be sitting going, why did I do that? Why? Rebellis Despanier, I don't know, versus Josh Parisian. If you don't know, Rebellis is coming in with the UFC fighter with the longest reach. He is beating out, I believe it was John Jones ahead of him. Is that John Jones or Sergey Pavlovich? Well, he dwarfs them by 3 inches, and 3 inches means a lot in terms of reach. He's coming in with an 87-inch reach. This guy's a freak of nature. He's an Olympian, and he is riding a whopping 4-fight win streak. But those 4 fights lasted a total of what? One fight was 5 minutes. His last 3 fights were... Is that 19? That's 19 seconds. His last 3 fights were 19 seconds. Versus Josh Parisian, the guy who got cup striked by Dontel Mays and then knocked out. The guy riding on a 2-fight losing streak to Martin Boudet and Jamal Pogues. A win over Alan Boudreaux. He's a loss to Parker Porter. Josh Parisian is not that good. But then Rebellis. Do you know the combined record of the people Rebellis has fought? They have 1 win total. His 4 opponents have 1 win total. He's a walking fraud alert. But Josh Parisian is a trash can. All I'm gonna say is people are like, they're parlaying Rebellis, or they're taking the dog on Parisian. I see so many of it. I see it, you disgusting bastards. I see, because Despaigne was he was minus 500. He's all the way down to minus 330. Parisian has been betted up to plus 240. Stop. Don't dog or pass, and don't parlay Despaigne. This is a walking catastrophe, because the best bet, the true bet, is the under. Because what could happen is Josh Parisian just takes down Rebellis, fraud checks him, and just knocks him out by ground and pound TKO. Yes, even Parisian could do that if he just gets on top of him. Because I don't like how he fills out for the heavyweight frame, Rebellis. Yeah, it'll be hard to take him down because how freaking tall he is. He's what, 6'7" too, I believe. Let me see if it tells me how tall he is. 6'7", yeah. But he still looks a little bit lanky. He reminds me of Stefan Struve, if you remember who Stefan Struve is. So he could be taken down and Parisian can start beating him up. Or it'll go how we expect and Rebellis will just knock out Parisian in a couple punches. I don't know. I don't care. I'm not betting on this fight. Get this out of my face. Give me Rebellis by round 1 knockout, but ugh. Okay, finally. We've gotten out of the freak show fights. Isn't there one? No, never mind. There's one more. But we're this is a good fight. This is a good fight, guys. Michel Pereira versus Mial Oleksiejczuk. Oleksiejczuk. I'm Polish and I can't pronounce it. I'm a failure, man. I wish I learned from my parents. Regardless, Michel Pereira versus Mial. This is going to be a good fight because Michel, he's not high level. I know he's moved up to lightweight, middleweight, and he has a really, really good knockout, but that doesn't mean anything. He's still not title contention level. I don't think he's going to be going for a title anytime soon. But Mial, I don't think he's going for a title anytime soon. But God, he's fun to watch. God, he is fun to watch. He's got a ton of power. His body shots are magnifique. And Michel Pereira, he has really crazy striking. He hasn't been doing it a lot lately. He's dialed it back, but it's still there. You can kill the idea, but you can't kill the man. You can kill the man, but you can't kill the idea. He's gonna launch some crazy stuff, I feel, in this fight. It's gonna be a hard fight to say because I definitely think it goes long because Michel Pereira, all his fights go long. Granted, I said that about his last fight. We saw how that went. I didn't think Andre Petrovsky would get his ass kicked like that. But Mial is too tanky. He is too durable. I saw the blows that Chidi was landing on him. Not happening. Unless you are going to submit him, you're not taking him out, honestly. You're not taking him out easy. I don't think you're taking him out all unless you're submitting him. And Michel Pereira, how many submissions does this bastard have? I think he has 7. How many does he have in the UFC? He got disqualified against Sanchez. I remember that. That was a good fight. Yeah, he has not had a single submission in the UFC. No, I'm sorry. I forgot. Zalim. He submitted Zalim. Is that it? That's it, baby. One submission in the UFC. I don't think he's submitting Michael Oleksiejczuk. I think this fight's going to go long, and I think Michel Pereira, he always has cardio issues, and I think that's going to be accentuated very heavy with those body shots from Michael. But also, Michael also gasses out as well, too. I don't know. I'm going to be leaning towards decision on the Polski side. Ian Cutelaba versus Felipe Lins. This is our freak show fight. I'm not a huge fan of either guys, to be honest with you. Ian Cutelaba, he's just too chaotic. He's like, yeah, they call him the Hulk, but this dude, he just needs to chill. He just goes in there and he'll get himself knocked out. I'm thinking of the Walker fight. I'm thinking of the Kennedy fight. I'm thinking of the Magomed's fight. I don't know how the hell he beat Khalil Roundtree, but yeah, it's just... I do think he can run through Felipe Lins, to be perfectly honest with you. I definitely think there's a possibility of that. And in fact, I'm probably going to lean towards that just because Felipe Lins, he's just too low volume. He's just he hangs back too much. I think, though, make no mistake, Felipe Lins could catch something. He could catch Ian Cutelaba with something. He'll run in there and just get clipped at something and dropped. I don't know. It's too chaotic for me to really get a good beat on this. I'm going to be going with Ian Cutelaba by round 2 knockout, but I don't like it, and I would not bet on this. Pedro Munoz versus Kyler Phillips. This is a fun fight. This is a very fun fight. Kyler Phillips is a very solid fighter coming off against a veteran in Pedro Munoz. Pedro Munoz has also never been finished. I mean, unless you count the Sean O'Malley no contest. But other than that, homie has never been finished. You're only going to beat Pedro Munoz by taking him to a decision. And even then, it's not easy. He is a guy who wins most of his decisions. He generally comes out on top of it. You just have to be busy or land harder shots. Kyler Phillips, he's not a power puncher. He is simply just not a power puncher. He's more of a volume guy, but he doesn't have crazy volume. He has less volume than Pedro Munoz. I believe Pedro Munoz is the underdog, is he? Pedro Munoz is a heavy underdog. I don't like heavy underdog. I'll lean towards Kyler Phillips for a decision, but ooh, I'm not laying minus 250 on Kyler Phillips. That's just asking for disappointment. That's chalky. But I think you should take up Pedro Munoz. He's been slowing down and not looking good his last couple fights. And I think this is a good step up for Kyler Phillips to break into the top 10. Mateusz Gamrot versus Rafael dos Anjos, or affectionately known as RDA. Funny statistic. Did you know since he fought Khabib Nurmagomedov, RDA has not been on the prelims? In fact, he's not been anything other than the co-main or main event since then. When was that Khabib fight? That was in 2017, right? No way. It was in 2013. 2014. Yeah, that's the last time he had been on the prelims. Everything else he had has been co-main or main event. That's just insanity. RDA is truly a BMF, but he's a BMF coming off some losses. The main thing where I'm really leaning towards Mateusz Gamrot in this is RDA used to be a guy to be able to really handle wrestlers, but he got wrestle fudged by Vicente Luque. Vicente Luque is not anywhere near the level of grappler Mateusz Gamrot is. He has more of a size advantage over Mateusz Gamrot, yeah, and he definitely used that, but still, Mateusz Gamrot could absolutely out-wrestle RDA if that's the case. And Mateusz Gamrot's striking is greatly enhanced. RDA is slowing down. I also just don't like RDA going back down to lightweight. I was fine with him sticking up at welterweight, but his last fight at lightweight, he got knocked out by Rafael Fiziev. Yes, Gamrot beat Fiziev. It was a TKO leg injury, but still, he was looking good in that fight. He was looking more effective in the striking department, and we know he can grapple with RDA. So I think this is going to be a fun fight. I like this fight a lot, but I'm going to have to absolutely go Mateusz Gamrot. I'm going to take him by decision. He doesn't have the striking chops to take out RDA, and that's the only person who's taken out RDA since Eddie Alvarez. Yeah, back in 2016 when Alvarez won the belt. So I don't think RDA getting finished by Mateusz Gamrot. Caitlin, I'm just going to call her by her last name because I'm used to that. Caitlin Chuken versus Maycee Barber. I don't like this fight at all. I'm really leaning towards dog, to be honest with you. I'm heavily contemplating leaning towards dog because we see Caitlin Chuken is just such a solid minute winner. She is, though, coming off... Yeah, that's the other for me. I forgot. She hasn't fought since 22nd of October. That's the right one when I start making these videos. Yeah, she hasn't fought since the Abu Dhabi card in 2022. Long layoff for her. I don't like that. Maycee Barber hasn't fought since... been almost a year, too. But it's more recent. And Maycee Barber's on a solid win streak. She's very good at minute winner. She's coming off a nice knockout over Amanda Ribas. But overall, she's still very good at winning minutes. Caitlin Chuken is also very good at winning minutes. Caitlin Chuken has very high volume, very high striking output. But Maycee Barber, I feel, could just land better shots. There's a little bit of a size advantage for Chuken, which as well as while I was leaning towards the dog. But I don't know. I just also feel that Chuken just doesn't care as much anymore. So I'm going to hesitantly take Maycee Barber decision, but know now that I did place a high value in the dog. In fact, if you're betting this, I'd say dog or pass, honestly. I'm just going to say it, dog or pass. And now for the final fight on the prelims, we have Curtis Blaydes versus Jailton Almeida. The switch up on this is crazy. Curtis Blaydes is a -120 favorite. When this fight was first supposed to schedule happen before Blaydes pulled out and we had Derek Lewis, Almeida was a heavy favorite. He was a heavy favorite. Now, y'all switching up on him, -120. I get it. It's not the best performance against Derek Lewis. But guess what? Did Derek Lewis win any part of that fight? Did he? You're going to shit on Jailton Almeida because he didn't look good winning a fight dominantly. I get it. I don't know what went on. He was probably sick or he had something going on. But we can't be forgetting Jailton Almeida has a near perfect finish rate. Jailton Almeida has went to this distance twice in his career. He's had 20 fights. Only one he's lost that was finished in. Other than that, he has a whopping 19 finishes of his 20 wins. And it's not like, oh, he's fighting absolutely nobodies. No, his last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 fights were UFC fights. He finished Dorzinho Frozenstrike. He finished Shamil. He finished Antoine Turkajali. He finished Parker Porter. Like, yeah, oh, dude, you're saying he beat Parker Porter. You're counting that as a win? When you submit him in the first round, yeah, it counts. When you submit Anton Turkajali in the first round, he's trash can, but guess what? It counts. Dorzinho Rosenstrike just absolutely fraud checked Shamil Gaziev, a big guy that everyone was super high on. What happened in the Frozenstrike fight? He got submitted in the first round. Guess who bet that, by the way? Guess who made some good money betting that? Guess who didn't make good money betting Derek Lewis second round submission? Second round submission for Jailton Almeida, submit Derek Lewis. Regardless. And then Curtis Blaydes is a guy who I just can't trust his fight IQ. Curtis Blaydes is a guy who has awful fight IQ, and we are greatly overrating Curtis Blaydes' ability. Yes, he's a really good wrestler. Almeida's the better wrestler. Blaydes has a size advantage, which may make it harder, and I still have hesitant aspirations about Almeida at heavyweight. He was probably a little bit better late heavyweight, but regardless, better wrestler than Blaydes. Blaydes has more power, bigger, but like he doesn't know how to use it, and he's not the brightest fighter. You have a wrestling advantage over Sergey Pavlovich. You're gonna stand with him. He was gonna stand with Tom Aspinall, and then like. I just don't think he's that good. You look at his wins. Look at his wins. So Tom Aspinall doesn't fucking count. 15-second leg break. And we saw what Tom Aspinall did to Sergey Pavlovich, who dispatched Curtis Blaydes. What do you think Tom Aspinall was going to do to Curtis Blaydes? I stand by that. Beyond that, he has a win over Chris Daukaus. Second round KO over Chris Daukaus doesn't mean anything. Then he has a decision win over Jairzinho Frozen Strike. Almeida dispatched him in under 3 minutes. Got knocked to hell by Derek Lewis. Beat Volkov, good win. Junior Dos Santos, he was a corpse in 2020. Shamil, we saw Jailton Almeida murder him even better. That's it. Francis knocked him out. France knocked him out twice. Yeah, France knocked him out twice. He beat Overeem, not Ubereem, Overeem. He beat the ghost of Mark Hunt. It's just not a good record for Curtis Blades. And Jailton Almeida, he's hot right now. He's on the come up, and he really wants to get back for that performance where he had his own home crowd booing him. I think Jailton Almeida is going to submit Curtis Blades. I know Curtis Blades, has he been submitted before? Never been submitted, but I think this is his time. In fact, I could also see Jailton Almeida getting a crazy ground and pound TKO. I could see that happening. Or a front kick. I love that front kick. I know he telegraphs the takedown, which can be bad, but imagine he just front kicks Curtis Blades. Blades gets an entry. I could see it. I think Jailton Almeida by finish is my favorite pick. Curtis Blades has never lost going the distance. I don't think he'll be knocked. If it goes the distance, Blades is going to lay and prey on Jailton Almeida. But I don't think it's going to happen. Give me Jailton Almeida by submission. And now we're going to be going to the main card where I have graphics for. So, first fight is going to be the bantamweight fight between Petr Yan and Song Yadong. Petr Yan's going to be 31 years of age, 16 wins, 5 losses, 7 knockouts, 1 submission, 5'7" in terms of height, switch stance, 67-inch reach on the dot. Both of them have the same reach. It's going to be a 171 takedown average, a 58.96% significant strike accuracy, minus 120 favorite. With Song Yadong standing across from him, 26 years of age, 21 wins, 7 losses, 9 knockouts, 3 submissions, 5'8" in terms of height, orthodox stance, 67-inch reach on the dot, 0.63 takedown average, a 49.61% significant strike accuracy, plus 100 underdog. He has significant wins over Chris Gutierrez, Ricky Simon, Marlon Moraes, and Chito Vera. I think my stock in Petr Yan has greatly fallen. I was a guy who was super high in Yan. His boxing is so good, but just I always criticized him for it, and that's how I got the O'Malley fight right. A lot, by the way, if your reason for picking Petr Yan as this fight is not for his skill set and say, oh, he should have beaten Sean O'Malley. If you say that anywhere in your reasoning for this fight, you don't know what you're talking about, and yeah. Petr Yan, I knew he would lose to Sean O'Malley. It's recorded, and I bet it. I actually double bet it because I'm stupid. But I double bet Sean O'Malley to win by decision. Why did I do that? Because I knew Petr Yan would spend too much time downloading data. If you're just hyper aggressive against Petr Yan, you're going to be able to beat him. We saw the same thing with Merab Dvalishvili. Yes, it was primarily his shitty takedowns that he wasn't even trying to get. Regardless, he just put constant pressure on him, and he couldn't download data. I don't think Petr Yan's gonna get knocked out because this boy's tough. He's got a good chin on him. He took a lot of shots. Granted, Aljamain Sterling, Merab have virtually zero power, to be honest with you, but they still just hit him so much, and they were hyper aggressive against him, and that's what really led them to beat him. I just don't see him coming back. The Petr Yan, the amazing Petr Yan that we all like, oh my god, he's so amazing, he's so great, that died in 2021 against Sandhagen. Because guys, that was the last win Petr Yan has had. It has been 3 years. It's been 3 years. He's not been active. He's been fighting twice or once a year. He's not active enough to truly say, oh, he's really been improving. He's really been doing whatever. Sure, he may have taken a long time off, but I just don't think it's in for Petr Yan anymore. Song Yadong is fresh. Song Yadong, he's powerful. He's really good. He's got a really good record as well, too. The Chris Gutierrez fight, that was really solid. The Ricky Simon fight got the 5th round knockout. I bet 4th round knockout. I'm very sad at that. I bet 4th round. I was off 1 round. But regardless, yes, he lost against Corey Sandhagen. I got 4th round knockout for Sandhagen on that. But why did I bet these? But regardless, that Sandhagen fight, he was doing really good. He was getting out-wrestled by D1 Sandhagen, yeah, but Petr Yan's not that guy who's going to be wrestling you like that. And he was mainly lost because of those elbow cuts. I think Song Yadong can land some really serious shots, and if he's hyper-aggressive, and he's got Uriah Faber in his corner, if he's hyper-aggressive, he could absolutely just put it on Petr Yan and win a decision. So I'm going to be taking Song Yadong by decision. I like that. I like him at plus money as well, too. Gimme. Next fight is going to be Gilbert El Torino Burns versus Jack Della Maddalena. Oh, this is going to be fun. That's going to be a fun fight to watch. Gilbert Burns in Miami again. I got to see him retire Jorge Masvidal. That's great. Welterweight matchup between Gilbert Burns and Jack Della Maddalena. Gilbert Burns is going to be 37 years of age, a decade older. He has a win record of 21 wins and 6 losses, 6 knockouts, 9 submissions, 5'10" in terms of height, orthodox stance, 71 1-inch reach disadvantage, a 1.95 takedown average, a 56.49% significant strike accuracy, plus 120 underdog. Significance over Jorge Masvidal, Neil Magny, Wonderboy, and Tyron Woodley. Jack Della Maddalena is going to be 27 years of age, 16 wins, 2 losses, 11 knockouts, 2 submissions, 5'11" in terms of height, switch stance fighter, 73-inch reach advantage, a 0.27 takedown average, a 57.03% significant strike accuracy, minus 140 favorite. Significant wins over Kevin Holland, Basil Hafez, and Randy Brown. We'll be taking JDM. Gilbert Burns did not look good against Bilal Muhammad. Yes, injured his shoulder, but still, Bilal Muhammad's game plan was too good. His striking was on point. People want to shit on Bilal Muhammad, say he's a boring wrestler. He didn't attempt a single takedown that fight, and he beat Gilbert Burns in every round. His switch stance, keep in mind, just absolutely confused Gilbert Burns. He just didn't know what to do, and Bilal Muhammad, as in all of Gilbert Burns' opponents, exploited his weakness that none of his wins have been able to. Neil Magny and Jorge Masvidal, I'm looking at them. Gilbert Burns has a kryptonite, and I've accurately pinpointed this kryptonite in all of his losses recently. His loss against Bilal Muhammad, his loss to Khamzat Chimaev, and his loss to Kamaru Usman. All of it, I've noticed it. Gilbert Burns has a weakness to southpaw power jabs, aka a jab with the right hand. And what is JDM? One of the best boxers with one of the crispiest southpaw jabs. We saw Khamzat Chimaev would switch stances. He'd launch out the power jab. He'd drop him. Bilal Muhammad dropped him with a jab. Kamaru Usman, that's his weakness. I don't know. He doesn't see it or whatever. JDM can absolutely exploit that. Yes, JDM did not look good against Basil Hafez, but keep in mind, double weight cut. And we saw what that did to Tony Ferguson in the Gaethje fight. Make no mistake, I think Gaethje will probably beat Ferguson, but he beat him bad because of that double weight cut. And JDM kept popping for the gilly. I don't know why he kept doing that. Hopefully he has a smart corner, tells him not to do that. Otherwise, his takedown defense is really good. And he beat the piss out of Basil. He beat the piss out of him. I don't know why people are out here saying, oh, he robbed him. He beat the shit out of him. I want to see if I could pull up, the fight statistics for it. But it was, I forgot that was on that card. But it was just not a split decision. Look at this. 3 of 20 takedowns. I'd like to mention those takedowns because he pulled guard. 70% total strike accuracy. 100. He landed more than 100 strikes on him. 83 to 32 significant strikes. What are you guys on about that this was a split decision? Where's the split? 3 to 1 takedowns, more than 100 strikes. What are you on about? He more than doubled his strikes. So yes, I genuinely do think that JDM is the better striker. Gilbert Burns has good power, but I think JDM has more power, better striking acumen. He's learned more from it, and I really just think that Burns' age is going to be a factor. I'll slow him down. I'm going to take JDM. I'm going to take JDM by knockout. I think he's going to take him out in rounds 2 or 3, to be honest with you. I think that jab's just going to catch him. I could see I don't want to say round 1 because Burns is really tough. He's really tough, but I see JDM knocking him out. I think this will be a very good fight. This is probably going to be fight of the night, to be honest with you. Possibly. It's going to be a good one. It's going to be a good one. What the hell? I turned Italian for a second. All right, now we have the debut. Kevin Holland will be taking on the debuting MVP Michael Venom Page. I like how we already have a PNG of him, but God, that looks weird. I don't know why a PNG looks weird. Regardless, it's going to be a welterweight matchup for Kevin Holland, going to be 31 years of age. He is going to have a win record of 25 wins and 10 losses, 13 knockouts, 8 submissions, 6'3" in terms of height. These are tall freaking welterweights. Orthodox stance, 81-inch reach advantage. Oh God, I forgot how big his reach advantage was. 0.78 takedown average, a 61.19% significant strike accuracy, minus 140 favorite. Significant wins over, nope, those are not the right significant wins. Those are the significant wins for, that's Dustin Poirier. All right, significant wins over Michael Chiesa, Santiago Ponzinibbio, and guess I'll put Tim Means and Cowboy Oliveira. Yeah. Okay. MVP, 36 years of age, 21 wins, 2 losses, 13 knockouts, 3 submissions, 6'3" in terms of height, switch stance, 79-inch reach disadvantage, a 4.53 takedown average, 84.21% significant strike accuracy, plus 120 favorite. Minor disclaimer. Those last 3, the switch, reach, takedown, and especially the strike accuracy. These are cumulative. I've gotten from multiple sites that seem to have matched, but I've seen too much disparity. Do not take them for granted. The one thing I'll always praise UFC is presentation. It's just better than everyone else. I could go on UFC's website right now. I could do this. Look at this. I want statistics on... Oh. Here, I have statistics right here. Oh, you want more statistics and where I usually get my statistics from? Let's see. Yeah, you could just go right here. ESPN MMA. Boom, it's there. Yeah, see, they also have those same statistics. Scares me. It scares me. But yes, it's just easier on UFC's end compared to Bellator, but regardless, that's why I do UFC more in Bellator PFL. But regardless, MVP has significant wins over Goto Yamauchi, Douglas Lima, and Paul Daly. Those are the best wins I'll put on there. I like MVP in the UFC. He's going to have some fun fights, and putting him up against Kevin Holland is one of the funnest matchups you could possibly have. But we are kidding ourselves to think the 36-year-old MVP is going to beat Kevin Holland. This is not going to be more so Kevin Holland versus MVP. This is going to be Kevin Holland versus Kevin Holland as awful fight IQ. We saw it in the one boy fight, which I respect him for doing it still, because he just said, hey, I'm just going to have a good fight for the fans, because I think he gave up on winning the title there. He kind of reignited with these last 2 fights, but still. And he had a really weird performance against Jack Della Maddalena. He just didn't look good in that fight. I don't know why, but other than that, Kevin Holland is a very tricky striker. He's got really good jiu-jitsu, not good wrestling. Don't get twisted. People say, oh, Kevin Holland's got no wrestling, or no grappling. He's got good jiu-jitsu. He doesn't have the best of wrestling. And keep in mind, most of the bigger wrestlers that took him out were Marvin Vettori or Derek Brunson, big middleweights who like to wet blanket you. If you go up against a grappler, a submission grappler, or I don't want to say submission grappler, but a guy with tricky submissions like MVP, it's going to turn out like the Michael Chiesa fight, which I don't know how people were picking Michael Chiesa. I knew Michael Chiesa would get the living shit beat out of him by Kevin Holland and then submitted with the darts. Called it, by the way. Ultimately, I think I think MVP is going to put in some very unique striking. He has a striking skill set next to Wonder Boy, similar to Wonder Boy, but he's not Wonder Boy. And I think Kevin Holland's going to land some shots on him. We saw him landing some good shots and piecing up Wonder Boy. I also don't think MVP has the same kind of cardio that Wonder Boy had to be able to outlast Kevin Holland. He kept kicking his arms. And I feel Kevin Holland will fight smarter this fight. I think he's going to get the knockout, and I think it's going to be late. I think he's going to get a round 3 knockout like he did last year in Miami. And I think he's going to catch MVP. But I think MVP is going to stick around for a bit, be like a Michael Chandler, a guy who's probably not going to win the title, but damn, will put on good fights. And yeah, I like the odds for Kevin Holland too. I thought he would be a way bigger favorite. I think he's swelled up a little bit now since making this graphic. Yeah, minus 135. Those are great odds. Those are great odds for Kevin Holland. We'll see. And now for the co-main event of the evening, and what will keep me on the edge of my seats and what should keep everyone on the edge of their seats. Oh God. Dustin Poirier taking on Benoit St Denis. Dustin Poirier, the number 3 rank, is taking on number 12, fighting down. And he's fighting a dangerous motherfucker. The former French Special Forces officer, now in the UFC, on an insane finish streak. Dustin Poirier has the second most finishes at lightweight, and oh God, he is the eternal dog. Lightweight matchup, Dustin Poirier is going to be 35 years of age, 29 wins, 8 losses, 15 knockouts, 17 submissions, 5'9" in terms of height, southpaw stance, 72-inch reach disadvantage, a 1.36 takedown average, a 54.89% significant strike accuracy, plus 155 underdog. Significance over Michael Chandler, Conor McGregor twice, Dan Hooker, and Max Holloway twice. But trust me, there's more. He's got one of the best resumes in UFC, honestly. Benoit St Denis is going to be 28 years of age, 13 wins, 1 loss, 4 knockouts, 9 submissions. Yep, that is a perfect finishing record. 100% finishes. 5'11" in terms of height, southpaw stance, 73-inch reach advantage, 4.55 takedown average, a 61.36% significant strike accuracy, minus 185 favorite. Oof. Any significance over Matt Frivola, Thiago Moises, and Ismael Bonfim. I'm going to be 100% honest with you guys. I think the odds are a mistake in this fight. I really do. I think Benoit St Denis is really good. I know I've been picking against him in his last couple fights. I know. But look at, I just can't get that Zaleski dos Santos. I know short notice at welterweight, but he was getting pieced up, boxed heavy. Dustin Poirier, yes. I mentioned the age being a factor in the Gilbert Burns JDM fight, but that was a decade. This is 7 years. Yes, still a large amount. And then Dustin Poirier is still at the top of the division. Coming off a knockout to Justin Gaethje, that's fine. Well, not fine if you look at the track record of Gaethje's opponents after he knocked them out. But still, he got knocked out by Justin Gaethje. You can't hold that against him. You simply just can't hold that against him. I truly do think Dustin Poirier is still elite. And Benoit St Denis, while he is very good and he is a very aggressive grappler, we've seen him getting taken down. Matt Frivola took him down. I can see Dustin Poirier taking him down. I can see it being like the Dan Hooker fight, where Dan Hooker took Dustin down, but he just kept getting back up. We've seen this before. He got up against Khabib. Yes, Khabib submitted him, but he got up from takedowns against Khabib. And then we see that Dustin Poirier eats southpaws. He villainizes southpaws. I can see Benoit St Denis getting tagged. He's very hittable. I can see him getting tagged. I can see him taking some leg kicks as well too. And I can see Dustin Poirier boxing him up. I don't know if he'll take him out, but when I saw that it was a 5-round fight, I'm going to be leaning Dustin because Benoit St Denis is tough. We've never seen him pass 3rd rounds. If Dustin can get past the first 3 rounds, which might be a little bit dicey, he can definitely take out Benoit St Denis in those later rounds. I don't think he's going to be head kicking him. I think Dustin will be on the alert for the head kick, so I don't think it's going to go down like Benoit St Denis knocked out Matt Frivola. He's not going to be Ismael Bonfim and let him just kick him in the chest 84 times. Dustin's going to be smart. He's going to be tactical, and this is a big step up for Benoit St Denis. Benoit St Denis will be on the come up. He will be top 5. He will get up there, but I just don't think it's going to be by beating Dustin Poirier. I think Dustin's going to beat him back. It's going to be a war, and it's going to be a fight of night, fight of year contender, honestly. But yes, give me Dustin The Diamond Poirier. I don't want to take knockout because Benoit is so durable. In fact, he's so durable and so hittable. His one loss against Zaleski, yeah, literally the ref got like let go from the event. He literally removed them from the rest of the event because of how badly Benoit St Denis got his ass beat. I'm gonna go with a late round 4 or 5 knockout for the Diamond. I think that's gonna be what I'm gonna go with. It's gonna be scary, but give me Dustin. I gotta ride with him. I think Benoit St Denis is very good, but I think Dustin Poirier has the tools needed to beat him. And on to the main event of the evening. Sean Suga Sean O'Malley versus Marlon Chito Vera. This is a great fight. A lot of people are sad that Corey Sandhagen gets his title shot. As someone who saw Sandhagen versus Font live, I'm sorry, but when half of the arena leaves, half, I'm not joking, I'm not, and then when he gets booed on the way out, I mean outside the venue, Sandhagen was getting booed. You can't justify a title shot with that, man. You just simply can't. He's probably the most deserving, or Morab, but still. Regardless, this is a fun fight. It's also a high-level fight. It's a championship fight. It's got massive stakes, and it's a rematch. I like this fight. I'm sorry, I simply do. Sean O'Malley is going to be 29 years of age, 17 wins, 1 loss. He's going to have 12 knockouts, 1 submission, 5'11" in terms of height, switch stance, 72-inch reach advantage. He has a 0.43 takedown average, a 61.60% significant strike accuracy, minus 280 favorite. I'm going to be honest, y'all. Cans. So that's why I only put his good wins, which is Aljamain Sterling, Piotr Jan. I'm sorry, but I'm not putting Paiva. Most of the other guys aren't even on the UFC anymore. I'm not putting Paiva. I'm not putting Weiland. I'm not putting Moutinho. I'm not putting them on there. He beat those guys, make no mistake, and they're great finishes or knockouts or beatdowns, but Chito Vera is going to be 31 years of age, 21 wins, 8 losses, 8 knockouts, 8 submissions. He is one of the most prolific finishers in the bantamweight division. 5'8" in terms of height, switch stance fighter, 70.5-inch reach disadvantage, a 0.58 takedown average, a 53.56% significant strike accuracy, and he's a plus 230 underdog. Significant wins over Pedro Munoz, Dominic Cruz, Rob Font, and Sean O'Malley standing across from him. This is hard. This is a really hard fight to say, because I'm going to be leaning on the Sean O'Malley route. Yes. Why? Chito Vera is good, but we've seen the holes in his game. He has the same holes as Piotr Jan. Sean O'Malley is a counter-striker, but he can be an aggressive counter-striker, and if he puts on an aggressive counter-striking pace, I could see him taking those first couple rounds from Chito Vera and just surviving the last 2, winning a decision. But will I be picking decision? And Chito Vera is hittable. Chito Vera is absolutely freaking hittable. You want to see how hittable Chito Vera is? I'll show you how hittable Chito Vera is. Where is it? This fight. Yes, he beat the shit out of Rob Font. He beat the shit out of Rob Font. But look at this. Look at this. He just unloaded. He just absolutely unloaded on him. Like, just absolutely. Look at this. Look at this. Chito Vera, if he takes those same shots from Sean O'Malley, I can see the knockout. And Sean O'Malley, it's not like he doesn't have cardio. He's went basically 15 rounds at the highest volume and output I've ever seen in a bantamweight fight, possibly. And against Chris Moutinho, was he that good? No, but he went high volume. He went full 15 minutes against Piotr Jan, and he gave everything he had. I think he's good. He knocked out Aljamain Sterling. His striking is beautiful. He has some somewhat tricky jiu-jitsu transitions. I think this fight's going to be standing on the feet the whole time, though. And Chito Vera, he's too slow. He's such a slow starter. He gives you the first round on a silver fucking platter. It's not going to be a 5-round fight. It's going to be a 4 to 3 round fight. because Sean O'Malley is going to get a head start against him because that's just how Chito fights. I wish Parilla would force him into that to be like, you need to go from the start. But I don't think he's going to. I do think the first fight was not indicative of the skill level of either guy. I do think it was just a perennial nerve shutdown. He got kicked in the leg, and that was it. I think the fight would have went differently. I'm not saying O'Malley would have won, but I think the fight would have went differently had we not seen that. Chito Vera is very good with his straight jabs and his elbows. His Thai elbows up clinch are very good. But if Sean O'Malley can keep at distance, spam those kicks, and spam those like shots straight down the middle, he can land some really good shots against Chito Vera. Chito Vera is tricky. He's really good with his kicks as well too. Asked with good old Dominic Cruz, axed Rob Font. He hit him with multiple sweet chin music. I had never seen that in a fight. But I don't think Chito Vera's volume and output is going to be enough. I think Sean O'Malley will take it. And Sean O'Malley, I'm not a fan of Sean O'Malley for the flashy persona or how he talks or all this. The reason why I'm a fan of Sean O'Malley is he truly has Warriors mentality. He simply is a warrior. You could say what he will about him outside the cage and him padding his record, pro boxers do all the time, whatever. But when a push comes to shove, Sean O'Malley is, at the end of the day, he is a fucking warrior. He broke both his hands punching Moutinho's face, and he just kept going. He just kept going. Was it a fight against Andre, whatever his name is, where he just broke his freaking leg, just shattered it, tore. He always had a problem with that leg. Just that worries me for his fight. And he still fought to the end. And he had his post-fight interview, just agony, just laying there. And then against Petr Yan, bloodied and beaten. And he was getting beaten up pretty bad. And he managed to still come back with a beautiful knee and bloody Petr Yan. He is absolutely a warrior. Chito Vera is a warrior. I think this is a magnificent and very fun fight. I'm going to be leaning towards the more tactical Sean O'Malley, but I just hope he goes. He needs to push pressure on Chito Vera. He needs to keep backing him up and just unloading haymakers. Those combos he was landing on Chris Moutinho's, he can land them on Chito Vera. He can. And if he does, I can see him knocking out Chito Vera. I don't want to pick knockout for Chito Vera. I don't want to pick that because Chito Vera is one of the only people with more than 10 fights in UFC who's never been fucking dropped. He shares that statistic with Max Holloway. Izzy used to have it till Strickland dropped him. Yes, Izzy had never been dropped, but then he got dropped by Strickland. I'm going to do it. I'm going to play risky. I'm going to pick Sean O'Malley by KO. You're going to laugh at me. People are going to laugh at me. I'm going to be taking Sean O'Malley by KO. But I think either way, this is going to be a fucking good fight. It's going to go late. It's absolutely going to go late, but it's going to be good. It's going to be good. But yes, once again, this has been your boy Gomi. This is a long one because I actually fucking like this card a lot, and I think it should be really good. Please let me know what you think in the comment sections down below. Please let me know if you think I'm insane for my O'Malley KO prediction or my Dustin KO prediction or my Holland. Oh no, I picked a lot of KOs on this main card. I normally pick a lot of decisions, but shit. Regardless, this has been your boy Gomi. Bye-bye.